Alrighty, this is Derek with 100 Interviews. We are here somewhat early, sitting in the hall of Blog World with Taryn P.
Yes, Taryn P.
Because I will not attempt to say your last name.
I will do it for you.
Okay.
It's Pizaneshi.
See, I would have butchered the heck out of that.
Taryn P is much easier.
Yes, Taryn P is so much easier to say. So, how you doing, Taryn?
I'm doing great. A little tired. I'm going on about maybe 6 hours sleep since I got to Blog World total, and I'm fueling my second, third, and fourth wings with trips to the gym.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, Taryn is from Atlanta.
I'm actually from Miami, but I live in Atlanta.
Okay, I'm sorry. You got on a plane in Atlanta and then came to Las Vegas.
Yes, this is true.
Originally from Miami.
Yes.
Went to BU.
Yes.
She has been in the social media space for a long, long time.
Yes.
Even before it was social media.
1990, before social media wasn't considered socializing.
When I saw that, when Taryn and I kind of hooked up, I met you because of New Media Atlanta.
Yeah.
You were following a bunch of people that I know that actually attended there and spoke, and just thought you looked interesting, so I added you, I think, on Facebook first.
It was Facebook.
Yeah, and then started to get to know you better. We started talking, and I kind of found you interesting on what you were kind of doing and what you have done in the past. You started an organization called WIN.
Yep, Women Intelligently Networking. I founded that in March of 2007, and it's a business organization for women, and we have different speakers that come and talk on business topics. For example, we had an ACT specialist come a couple weeks ago and talk about how to make sure that business contacts we meet at networking events don't fall through the cracks. We also had a web designer come and she talked about web design crimes, and it's really designed to bring together like-minded businesswomen to help each other, support each other, and grow our businesses.
So you're the president of that organization?
Yes.
How many members are in that?
Between 50 to 60.
Okay. And you guys meet on a monthly basis?
We meet twice a month, and we have anywhere from 20 to 40 people at our events. The last couple of meetings one meeting we had 18 visitors. Another meeting we had 11 visitors. So it's not just a stagnant community. There's a lot of new faces and lots of people coming looking for guidance, and in this economy people need.
So it's like its own social media site. It kind of grows.
It is.
A little bit slower than maybe Twitter or Facebook, but.
Yeah, but it's face-to-face, and that's really important.
That's great. So let's talk about a little bit about Blog World. You've been here. This is your second day now. You got in a little bit late.
A lot late.
A lot late. But you're probably going to see the best stuff today, and unfortunately I have to leave. So what are you hoping to get out of Blog World, and what have you gotten maybe from yesterday?
You know, I didn't attend any sessions yesterday. I was actually just working the floor, just getting to know people, getting the information out about the blog that I launched, which is Lessons in Business Networking from the Field. And it's all about helping people mind the gap between online and offline networking, because I think there's a disconnect there. So I thought it would be a little bit more valuable to interact with people instead of sitting and listening to other people talk for the beginning.
Networking? What?
Networking.
What are you talking about? I have to actually talk to you?
Yeah. You know, some people kind of took that approach, and it was a perfect example of why people need my help.
But I have 100,000 followers. I don't need to talk to you.
Exactly. And, you know, this coming to Blog World really was fueled by a conversation that I had at AZFest. I was sitting with this gentleman.
Oh, God, don't give a plug for Ted Murphy. That's just...
Factually, I was there. I was at this event, and...
Wait, were you paid to go to that event?
I know.
Are you disclosing any kind of sponsorships here?
No sponsorships.
Okay, because the FTC will they'll somehow find out about this.
No sponsorships whatsoever. And I was sitting with this gentleman, and he was a very successful blogger. So I say to him, you know, well, what is it that you're doing here? Well, you know, what do you do in general? And he says, I produce. And I said, you produce what? And he goes, content. I said, well, what do you do with that content? And he says, I put it on sites. I go, what kind of sites? He says, blogs. I said, well, what do you blog about?
There's these things called the blog.
This is the best part. He goes, anything I feel like. And at that point, I realized he just lost an opportunity to get me as a subscriber, as a reader. And while he might have all these followers on Twitter, I have about 7,000 followers myself, and if I would have been impressed with one single thing he said, I probably would have gone online and said, I had this great conversation with this person, go check it out. But he completely kiboshed that, and it just really became apparent that just because you have an online network doesn't mean you know how to interact and how to build your offline network.
So you're saying that his social skills were suspect.
No, and then he leans in and goes, so, do you go to a lot of these internet events? I was like, you're the quintessential person that needs my help, my friend.
Yes, that is the classic ending line.
Yes, it was amazing. I didn't even know people still asked that.
Do you know who I am? I'm internet famous.
I'm a celebrity.
Yes. So, what are you trying to hopefully get out of this particular conference?
You know, I'm really here just to interact. I want to meet a lot of the speakers and meet a lot of the organizers. I think that what I offer is a little unique, and I'm just trying to build awareness of my blog and the services I provide, and maybe down the road there's a chance for me to help educate some people as well.
Okay, so education is key.
Education. I love teaching people. Knowledge is power, and I love empowering others with the ability to make those connections.
Wait a minute, are you a social media guru?
Social media maven.
I'm a social media muskrat, so that's...
I am. Somebody said that I've been online since before the dinosaurs, so that was 1990.
So what were you doing back in 1990?
I was building my first online community and mailing list, and I actually sent out newsletters both in email and also through the mail. So at age 12, I had my own little community. You were
way before your time.
I am really a community builder, and I can prove it.
Oh, that's great. So what do you do outside of all this social media stuff?
I actually work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, even people in transition, including bloggers, and I really help them understand how they can market themselves in person. You know, how to communicate with people, to explain what it is they do, and how to get people to prospect for them. I actually quadrupled the market share of my first business, which we sold last year. I quadrupled the market share in 18 months through networking and social media. So I really walk the walk, and I like to teach that to people once I know what their pain points are.
That's great. Well, Taryn, we'll kind of finish up here. What is let's say, one piece of advice you would give to our audience about what they should expect out of their social media site and maybe what they can do to improve it?
But it takes time. That you have to really cultivate your relationships, that you need to continue adding content. Don't put a site up there and forget about it, and don't expect immediate return. But if you're willing to put the investment in it, it will thrive, but you have to also be unique. So be authentic, figure it out, what your passions are, and let those come through, and don't try to fit inside any kind of mold. Just be you.
Okay. That's great. Thank you so much, Taryn. We hope you enjoy the rest of the day here, and we'll keep an eye on you and see what you're up to in there.
I appreciate that, Derek.
All righty.